For more and more people these days, the problem of drug addiction begins in the home with access to prescription painkillers. One response to that problem is to control that access more carefully. That's the goal of the Safe Homes Coalition and its partners around the country. To tell us about the initiative is the coalition's executive director, Greg Stein. Thank you very much for being with us, Greg.
Thank you, Chris, for having me.
Your concern here is what happens when there's an open house and people are coming in, and take it from there. You're familiar how to start it.
Absolutely, Chris. The issue is really that people have prescription medications in their home that have become valuable outside the home and for reasons of prescription misuse or abuse. These are controlled substances that are appropriate for those that they're prescribed to, but oftentimes can lead to potentially either misuse, abuse, and when that happens, they become valuable to those who have a drug-seeking issue. And so what we do is we brought together a coalition here in the Commonwealth made up of the Medical Society, the Dental Society, numerous state legislators, law enforcement, the governor, and others to inform and educate individuals through the specific channel of real estate, which is an unusual one. But in partnership with the Greater Boston Association of Realtors, we have partnered to encourage their agents to utilize these bags that we have with literature to provide them to their customers so that those customers then know, just like they put away their jewelry, just like the way they put away their passports, that they should put away those prescription medications and keep them safe when they're in the home.
So has this sort of thing happened when there was an open house and somebody went into the medicine cabinet? And
absolutely. What we started to hear is that from the prevention program people, the people that are out educating youth and others about the dangers of misuse and abuse of substances, they started to learn that people who had become dependent on these medications were actually going into open houses and seeking them. And so with a simple message like what we're providing through the Safe Homes Coalition, simply secure those medications, and when they're no longer needed or they've expired or you don't need or are unused, take them to a Dropbox location. And there are Dropbox locations located at police stations throughout the Commonwealth. In fact, you can find a list of those locations on our website at makeitsafehome.org.
Of course, this is a no-brainer for somebody who's taking that medication on a regular basis. Maybe they have a condition they're trying to manage. But what about somebody who, you went to the dentist, you had a procedure, you took something for a couple of days, and, here it is 5 years later, you've forgotten about it.
That happens all the time. We hear stories about that very regularly. We also hear stories about a elderly family member who may have passed on. And when the family goes in to clean out their things, they find a medicine cabinet that's just full of medications. And so it's really important for families everywhere to think about what they currently have in their home and go take a look. There may have been an automobile accident and a broken leg years ago, and the painkillers that were important and useful then are no longer needed. Take those to a Dropbox. Make sure they're outside the home. Don't make your home a target for a potential theft. And quite frankly, beyond that, anytime anyone is in your home, they could potentially be seeking those drugs. It could be a plumber, it could be a daycare worker, it could be any time. So really, anytime you have those medications in your home, realize that they are important, but there's also a responsibility that goes with that, and secure them properly and to dispose of them properly.
Now, those of us who are not addicted and not in pain, we don't think about this, but one of the things I guess you've found through a survey is how easy it is for people to get hold of these drugs when they're not supposed to.
Absolutely. When we initially launched this program in San Diego County, we did a survey of the realtors there, and we found that less than half of them were even aware that this might be an issue. And yet, once we spoke with them, that near universal response. Absolutely. We will add this to our checklist. This is an important way that we as industry, as individuals who sometimes feel powerless to address a very complex problem, are able to participate and help make a safer home out of these open houses.
Explain the idea of the bags. Why did you come up with that?
It really is a visualization and a reminder and an easy way to communicate the message. If you are handed a bag as a person who's selling their home, then you think about the fact that, oh, I might have some things that I should put away. And all the person needs to do is take the medicines out of the cabinet, put them in the bag, and put that bag in a very safe and secure location. Maybe it's a safe, an actual safe. Maybe it's the trunk of the car if it's not too hot outside. There are numerous locations where you can put those medications until the house is no longer open to the public.
Now, one of the other things that people should do is if the drugs are no longer being used or if they're expired, you got to get rid of them. But I guess you don't just throw them in the wastebasket. You
don't. There is a wonderful partnership between law enforcement and a waste management company right here in the Commonwealth, where Dropbox locations have been installed in almost every police station throughout the Commonwealth. In fact, I think the only ones that don't have it these days are those where the lobby's too small to actually fit it. And that partnership is designed to allow people to anonymously take their medications, put them in the Dropbox, and then the police force will take them securely to the disposal facility where they'll be incinerated properly.
Because one of the other things you're doing in this campaign, even if there's not really an issue in a particular case, if someone's going to grab the drugs, is that you're getting people to talk about this.
Absolutely. This is really a three-pronged campaign. The bags are a nice visualization, and we produce 10,000 of them, and we've got commitments to distribute those throughout Greater Boston at least. But additionally, we have a second prong, which is to sit down with the media and to hold events. Events that we did, for example, in Norfolk County with the district attorney, or in Middlesex County with the district attorney and the sheriff there, to help spread the education beyond just the bags themselves. And then maybe the most important part of this is the broad coalition of partners that we have. From Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts and the Massachusetts Association of Health Plans, a number of others I mentioned previously, they all have the ability to communicate to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of members of the Commonwealth and provide that same message. So again, it's a simple visual to have a bag. The media has been a wonderful partner in helping us extend that education beyond those bags, and then our member organizations are taking really out to a very, very large number of people.
Finally, we should mention if people like some more information, especially about where these drugs can be dropped off. What's the best way to do that?
Please go to makeitaSafeHome.org and /Boston. And there are a number of vignettes from a number of leaders around the community talking about their own experiences with the issue and how they're addressing it. But also there is a list of Dropbox locations that you can go to. In addition, there are tips for talking to teens about prescription drug abuse, because it's not just the supply we need to address. We also have to address the demand.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Greg Stein from the Safe Homes Coalition. That's our report for tonight. We'd like to say a thank you to all our veterans being honored tomorrow, and we'll be back with our next newscast on Thursday. Meanwhile, you can follow us on Twitter at @news_BNN or look us up on Facebook at Neighborhood Network News. I'm Chris Lovett. Thanks for being with us.